If you are not checking your credit card statements, well, you are losing a lot of money. Most people do not check their credit card statement, and this causes them to lose money. What I've done recently is that I went through and I printed out all of my credit card statements and I took a look at them. Remember, the credit card company, they do not want us to look at our credit card statements because they want us to continue paying them interest. Well, what I did was that I sat down, I printed out all my credit card statements. I wrote down the interest rate on all of my credit cards. And what I did, I put them in order by the highest interest rate all the way down to the lowest interest rate. Why did I do this? Because it's something about it when we actually sit down and we print out our credit card statements, and if you have a high interest rate, life gets busy. I know life happens, but something is so simple as people actually sitting down looking at the credit card statement. Sometimes we get so busy it don't happen. But what I realized is that once I printed out my statements and I looked at the interest rate and I looked at how much interest I was paying each month, I was like, oh my goodness, I am wasting money, paying, just the minimum payment each month. So also what we should do is also we want to write down each credit card, the interest rate, the minimum amount of payment each month, and the due date. Because once you actually sit down and you do this, you'll realize, how much money you're throwing away. Just think about it. If we're a homeowner, we can use that extra money that we're spending each month paying credit card debt. We can use that money to fix up our home. We can use that even if a person is renting right now and you have a lot of credit card debt, you can take that money that you're paying towards high interest credit card and you can save that money for a down payment on a house. A person, they can use that money to invest with. They can use that money to travel. But it's just something when we actually sit down and we look at our credit card statement and you actually see what are you spending your money on. Because if you look at your credit card statement and you're like, okay, well, man, I spent money on stuff that was not even important. I see maybe like a tire, if you have to get your car fixed because, you have to get back to work, that type of stuff, that's for emergency. But sometimes, we'll spend money on stuff that's not important. Like, for example, you may go out on Friday night. You don't have to go out to eat. We can cook at home. So it's a great idea to print out that credit card statement and actually see where have we actually been spending our money. And then once you do this and you look at it, I promise you, once you look at your credit card statement and you realize the money that you're giving away, you're like, hey, I can keep that money myself. Capital One, American Express, they got all the money that they need. I'm tired of giving these people my money, so I'm going to come up with ways that I can earn extra money so that I can build wealth for my family. I won't, keep making these banks richer and I'm, just giving away money. So it's like I might as well just roll down the window and just throw the money out. And then also it's a great idea to figure out, what caused us to get in debt. But remember, we have to have a positive attitude. We have to say to ourselves, well, this is only temporary. Um, we learn from our mistakes, um, and we learn, how to manage our money, and to how not to get in debt anymore. I know emergency happens, people, they lose jobs, people get sick, foreclosure. So, we can't be all hard on ourselves, but, we have to move forward. So, in my channel, I am a business consultant. I do one-on-one. You can click the link in the description, and I'll be happy to do a one-on-one consultation with you. And I want you to hit that subscribe button because I'm really trying to grow my channel. My goal on this channel is to help people build wealth. I want to help people, including myself, to get out of debt so that way that we can build wealth. Because remember, when a person has debt, that affects them mentally and physically. So I just want to, help people get out of debt, and I want us to build wealth. I want us to be able to save for retirement. I want us to be able to, live comfortable. Learn how to manage our money. But, like I was saying earlier, it's so important that we print out our credit card statements because, like I said, I know everyone's so busy working. Just think, actually, a lot of people really don't they really don't make the time to actually just sit down. Like we're just paying the minimum on a credit card. That's it. But we're not because once you see it, on black and white paper, I mean, it really makes a difference. You're like, I'm a homeowner. I could really be, fixing up my house. I could really, be building wealth. I can, retire, putting that money towards retirement, put that money towards my kids' education. I may want to go back to school. There's just so much that we can do with with that money instead of paying on high interest credit card. And then also, if we pay down our debt, this helps us increase our credit score too. Because remember, the better credit that we have, the less we pay in interest. So remember, we just don't want to give our money away to the credit card companies. We want to build wealth, and that's my goal of my channel and my business as a personal consultant. I love my customer. I love helping individuals. I love helping business owners. My goal is just to help people to build wealth and to get out of debt. I also have some digital products in my descriptions. And like I said, I do one-on-one consultations with people. And just remember, it's so important that we sit down and we look through our financial paperwork. Pick one day a week or, every 2 weeks. Look at our, we, like they say, you have to look at the black and white paper. It's like you have to read the contract. You have to know all the money that you have paying out. And remember, our goal is we want to build wealth. We want to keep as much money as we can at home for our family. So, like I said, this is why it's so important that, we build up, credit, but we also want to get, a lower interest rate. And remember, the interest rates does matter because you'll be amazed how so many people we don't even know what our interest rate is because, you're just so busy. So just reach out to me for a one-on-one consultation. I'll be happy to help you. And I'm really trying to help my channel grow. So I really would appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And remember, follow me weekly for more financial tips.